have a lot of theories about. First off, I always say, this is my mantra, and it's not everybody's mantra, but if you're going to have a YouTube channel, I think you should have it, or anything you do in life, because you want to have fun and you want to enjoy what you're doing. And that's something that I've really believed in all of my life. Well, in the past, when I was younger, I feel like I struggled with it a bit just because I don't know what it was. I think just being more of an introverted person, social situations, they can just be difficult, really, for us more introverted types. And I find that when you're around certain people, it just, and this is something I feel like I've finally come to grips with recently, as an adult, really, is that there's always going to be certain people, they're not happy, so they want you to be unhappy. And they will do their darndest and their greatest to try and ensure that anybody else around them is not happy. And I know some people will say, don't let others steal your joy, and I agree. And I'm friendly to people, and I'm kind to people, and I do enjoy talking with people. And I know some introverted people, they don't really like to interact with people much at all. But I'll tell you where I'm introverted. I'm introverted in that I don't like seek out like large sporting events, like, or big things like that, like to, I don't know, like parties. I'm not saying I never go to things. I feel like um my introversion is just, it's where at the end of the day I can be a homebody and derive a lot of joy from being a homebody. That's where my introversion comes into play. You know, I'm introverted in that sense. Like some people might not consider that like truly introverted, which I don't know how there's scales of being introverted, but sometimes I feel like there is a scale to being introverted, perhaps, maybe. That's just a thought. So I have to hang up all my clothes from the other day so I can hang up these ones. And this socks. See, I think he's gonna be a trial for that new at Burlington. I went to Burlington on Friday with my sister at the new location where it's at, and I'm gonna use that for the lint. I bought and actually decided once again because I gave my parents my sister's old lint shaver. I don't remember its name, but anyhow. So I think I'm going to make that a side sacrificial lamb, but just a little test project for it, you know. And I still need to put the batteries in that thing. It wasn't super user friendly. That's probably why it's on sale, you know. There's nothing on the ground. There is nothing on the ground. Those are hangers. This is where my hangers live. I keep my hangers down there. So there's nothing on the ground. I don't know what you're talking about. This is the laundry area. This is where I organize hanging all the laundry, you know? No, that's where they live. I don't pick them up. They live there. That's their place. This is where they live because this is my little laundry hanging area. So they like to be here, and that's where they live. That's their sorting area. They don't go in the closet. They're just for hanging like things. So that's their place to live. Why do they need to be off the ground? They live on the ground. That's their house. Okay, you know what? We don't need that. If you come to the channel with a bad intention, nope, nope, nope. Don't want that. No, thank you. Anyway, positivity forward. I just don't want that vibe on my channel. Like, that we don't need any of that. Hi, Damien. I just. Anyway, so this is the next thing I was gonna say. Who I make a channel for. It's for people that love what I do. It's not like to, like, I remember just when I used to do YouTube with other people more, like some people, they really want to be superstars on this platform. They will do whatever it takes. Well, the bad intention is if you're just here to complain, like, I don't find that to be a good intention, but there are people that like that sort of thing. I just personally, I don't derive happiness and joy from people that feel that's necessary. But if you want to do that, there's plenty of places you can do that. Just, you're not going to find a lot of like support for that here. So yeah, it's not good in my opinion. Like, no. And I'm not saying you specifically, but just that vibe where, okay, thanks, I guess. That's nice of you to say. But I don't really, like, sometimes people just seem like they're upset about something, or they've been seeing too much rage bait on the FYP. And the thing is, I just don't indulge in the rage bait, right? So I feel like a lot of people, they're willing to do whatever it takes to grow their channel. And if that includes, like, just saying and doing things that rile people up, and then they get a lot of comments that just seem kind of mad, angry, irritated. I don't get it. Like, what's the point of that? But anyway, I digress, because as a more introverted person, I just don't derive a lot of joy from that. But that doesn't mean that introverted people don't like to do social media. Like, I'm not saying, I talk to people and I'm kind to people, but I would say it took me a long time to get to a place that I'm a little bit more outgoing than I was like 20 years ago. And some people, like, you don't seem introverted at all, but my introversion comes from, I actually like being at home. Like, some people, they're talking about like how, oh no, there's going to be a recession and they would have to stay home more and do more home related activities. And I'm like, I don't know, does that sound so horrible? Not really. Like, when I'm at home, I have a lot of fun. Like, I love doing home-based activities. And sometimes it's just hard, like when you have to be working all the time, and in the evening, like, you're tired, so you don't have the motivation to do the things that you would love to do. Like, for me, I find that just very, like, I just want to have more energy to do a lot of things before I get up in the morning. Okay, well, thank you. Anyway. So yeah, but then at the end of the day, I don't really understand, like, how people in general think, I think, because I don't pretend to try and, like, examine that. Like, what you tell me, that's fine. If you feel a certain way, I get it. But there's a lot of things I just don't really understand, like wanting to roast somebody. I don't get that. Like, I have no desire in my entire life to roast anyone, because I don't find that funny or respectful. I can be funny though, by the way, like, just in my own little way. Like, I don't intend to be funny, but like, I made my sister laugh, just laugh. Like, she burst out hysterically laughing. So on Friday night, we went to Walmart, and I was gonna eat my little Reese's cup. Well, you don't have to join every day. It's okay. I can be funny sometimes. So I had this Reese's cup, and I told my mom, my sister, not my mom. My mom doesn't go out at all, actually, except to take my dad shopping when he needs it. So I told my sister, oh, I'm going to eat my little Reese's peanut butter cup, but I told her I don't really want to eat in your car, because I don't want to get your car
messy. So I was like, too bad I don't have my feed bag. I was just joking, like a cow or something, like that I could eat it over, like a horse. And she was like, what is that? She just burst out laughing. She was, I did not expect you to say that. I said, I can be so random sometimes. Like I just have these thoughts that pop in my head. And I was just thinking, how convenient though. But there is a modern like feed bag for humans. You know how on FYP some people are like making those to go nachos like in chip bags? And that's kind of like a human feed bag. Like, hear me out, okay? So people are putting like lettuce, and I don't eat meat, but I eat like Beyond Burger or something. Maybe I'll try one, like a plant-based one. But anyway, I'm plant-based, except I do eat candy, and that's not like sometimes that ends up having some dairy in it. So I'm not like super strict. Like some people are very strict, but mostly I just don't want to eat meat. Like that's just like a personal thing. Like it's a personal preference, really. And I feel like I've been so happy about that. In that I don't do Snapchat because I didn't see the point. I have a YouTube and I have a TikTok, and if people want to follow me, they can follow me in both those places. And the thing I never liked about the Snapchat is it's another app. And I hate adding more and more apps to my phone. In fact, I will go out of my way to use the mobile version of any website over an app. Because I don't want my phone cluttered up with apps. I just don't. I just do not like a lot of apps. I use YouTube, I use TikTok, and I'll use Instagram on my old phone, but not my new phone. In fact, I refuse because I haven't been very happy with Instagram in a while. Like, I refuse to reinstall it on my new phone, but I will use the YouTube one. So, like, I come on YouTube. I do a few, like, I don't have like a schedule per se, but you will see me a lot more active on this app with lives on Sundays and Mondays because those are the days I'm off. With some like, I am taking a couple days off this week, so that will be like might be some unexpected lives, but I don't have like a schedule per se. Like some people, they schedule out their content, but I don't do that. I post what makes me happy, right? And so I think it is good to be happy if you have a hobby or do YouTube. And it's not that I don't want people to watch my channel. Like I really do appreciate it. But this is the difference. Like some people, they really want to be famous, and it's not like some of them don't even compromise what they believe in doing it, but in fact they'll kind of lambast others, I think, in a very provocative way. And it's funny, I feel like some people are very naive because there's a lot of things on social media that are actually satire packaged as rage bait, and people are falling for it. Like I almost fell for it this morning, okay? Because I slept a lot of hours, and then I woke up early, and I just looked at TikTok for a few minutes, and there was like this account, and I thought, oh my gosh, this must be real. It was the most ridiculous thing on the planet. Like it was ridiculous. It was the most stereotypical thing you could imagine. It was like this woman, like it's a picture of a somewhat larger woman, and she was writing something about how she doesn't like visiting the Netherlands because they have really narrow houses with really narrow doors that are not like good for body positivity. It was just like the most outrageous thing. And there were Americans and there were people from the Netherlands like responding very negatively in the comments of the video. And then I kind of noticed something. I thought, okay, I don't think this is a real person. It took me 2 posts of hers watching to figure it out. Oh, you live in the Netherlands? That's cool. But I want to tell you this TikTok person is not real. Like she's made up, and I think she's an American guy that's rage baiting people. Okay, so first off, every video this person was posting was an AI voice. Like I never saw the woman that supposedly was running the account. I'm sure the doors are massive. Like that was ridiculous, right? If somebody says, "Oh, the doors are narrow and I'm too," that's kind of ridiculous. It's just to get a reaction. And her handle was something like MAGA, expat woman, and she misspelled like every word. Like she misspelled expat, she misspelled all these different things, and you never saw a video of her. It was just a picture of her, okay? And she was like posting all these ridiculous things. Like she was posting things like, oh, why is Kenya in the Netherlands like snack size, and why don't people in the Netherlands eat snacks? And I'm like, I'm sure that they eat snacks. Maybe they don't eat like American buffet style snacks, but there's a lot of Americans who don't. Go on the FYP and you'll see that there's a lot of people that are into like very clean eating, especially in California where I live. Oh my gosh, like, believe me. So it was just like rage bait. So finally I just told some people, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is a made up account. Like, I think this lady's using AI. I don't think she's in the Netherlands, and I don't even think she's a woman. She might just be some young guy that's like having fun, like posting this crazy stuff, and all these people were getting mad at her, and they were following her page. And I'm like, this isn't real, guys. Like, so you just have to be very careful. Like, there are some people that are real, that believe what they're posting, but some people make stuff up. The Flooring, you're funny. Anyway, so, but the whole point was, it's a rage bait account. Like, that wasn't a real person. I'm pretty sure of it. I mean, there's a possibility that she was a real person, but my spidey sense tells me a lot of the times, like, there's these other people. I don't know if people in other countries do it, but I think Americans, like, rather than being authentic and just posting something that might not go viral, like, they'll keep them, like, they will have their real opinions or thoughts or some part of them that's true in the video, but I feel like they maximize it or amp it up, because I feel like this is something that's just kind of, maybe this is true in other countries, but this is just something I've seen in American as an American. It seems like in the past, like, people used to like be somewhat provocative or exaggerate to sell things. So I feel like that whole idea of marketing has gone over to rage baitery, where people are just like being outlandish. Like, they're doing these recipe videos. Thank you. Like, they're doing these crazy recipe videos where they're mixing like 5 types of cake, okay, or cookies or candy, and then they're putting like cream cheese in there, and then they're like swirling it around, and then they're taking a bite of it on a plate. I'm like, I don't think anybody's really eating that, by the way. I do believe that some of those videos are created to get a reaction and to get views, because think about it, like, the more views they're getting, that could be more revenue they're making. And some people, rather than just make like, oh, if they were to just make a video where they made a chocolate cake, would that get as many views? Maybe not. If they make a really rage baity kind of video where they're just mixing weird things together that would make anybody sick, they're gonna get more views, you know? It's just common sense in my viewpoint, but, you know, rage baitery is alive and well on that FYP. So I think some people are actually being themselves, but there's like some people that are just saying ridiculous things now, like, oh my gosh, my freedom of speech was finally restored. And I'm thinking for a second, I don't think anybody's freedom of speech was ever taken away just because the Rumpkin said so. Like, I think what it was that people were just becoming more aware of, like, oh, they shouldn't be like completely cruel. And I know, like, all his fans are like clamoring right now. They're like, oh my God, I'm not married. They're like, oh my gosh, he said freedom of speech is back, so it's back. It never went away, okay? And he is just brash. And he says whatever pops in his head is not even true. And guess what? Somebody said the funniest thing on the FYP this morning. They said he will never regulate AI. Like, I have nothing against people using AI in strategic ways as long as we know it's AI, okay? I'm not like anti-AI. Like, I've used it a few times just to make like little background songs, but that's all I do with it, really. Because, and the only reason I do that is because I feel like I don't really like using copyrighted songs just because I don't know. I don't personally. So I've used it to make songs a few times, just like in little shorts and stuff. So I don't know. But a lot of people are using AI to. I'm not married just because I'm not married. Look, I'm not wearing a ring. So, like, they're just using AI in very extreme ways. And I guess Trump does that. And somebody said that he will never regulate AI because, first off, he doesn't really believe in regulation unless it's like some crazy tariff that he might rescind, maybe not, or put back on. Or, like, okay, he will never regulate AI because I guess somebody said, so funny, they said that he's like, his followers or his advisors are creating AI slop and posting it on his pages, and he believes it and they believe it. I'm like, I guess that's kind of true because some of the things he posts, like, AI can be helpful, but you can't use it to be egregious, you know. Are you gonna have a baby, Scott? Congratulations. I'm gonna start hanging up the wet laundry that I washed. I double rinsed it, but I just thought it was so funny. Like, he is using AI, and somebody was saying it was AI slop. I'm just like, because some of the things that he posts are just ridiculous. I'm like, but you know how AI kind of picks up your tone if you just ask it things and you kind of write just to see what its response will be. I think it kind of studies, because I hate to say it, all the tech spies on us. So I feel like AI kind of knows him maybe, and is like producing like this echo chamber for him, and he's like, that's brilliant. And he probably loves AI because AI will never argue with him. And unlike a reporter that might present him with facts, it might privately. I mean, I don't know. Like, if you really want to send me a message on the Instagram thing, you can do that. But just be forewarned, I'm not super active on there. But you're welcome to send me a message there if you like. I just sometimes use Instagram. This is the shirt I bought my sister the other day. Then she dropped it off. She's like, I tried to wash it where I'm staying and I couldn't get the coffee stain out. I'm like, okay, I'll wash it. Actually, we bought it in the men's department because sometimes they have better shirts. I don't know, the women's department, the shirts are just like super overpriced sometimes, and then there's just not as much variety. And we started doing that a few years ago because you could find some really cute t-shirts. Like, my nephew did that, and I was like, oh, they're actually like cuter. So sometimes, like, if you're looking for cuter t-shirts, like, I think this is kind of cute. It was cuter than anything they were selling in the women's department that day. I was like, oh. So that's kind of a tip I have. Thank you. Well, you're welcome to send me a message on the Instagram thing if you want. I just not super active. But you're welcome to send me a message there. Okay, so what was I gonna say? Yeah, he's never. You think people are like, oh my gosh, they need to regulate. What are they gonna regulate right now? They're like talking about defunding this and that, and how they want to deregulate this and that. I mean, I just don't see, like, no, they're not going to do that. You just have to be very cautious when you're online. Like, don't believe everything you see. You need to vet things. You can, like, if you see like a creator that makes like some sort of claim that they did like a retro photo shoot, like, use an image reverse tool to see, oh, did they just, I didn't know people did this, like they were gluing their heads on like image, like retro photo shoots and saying it was them, or like, just be careful, you know. And honestly, to like my discerning eye, I can still see when something's like AI because it looks kind of, it doesn't look quite right. It still doesn't. You know what? I mean, I have pictures on my Instagram if you want to see them. I don't really send people pictures, but if you have something you want to tell me, you can. But I have pictures on my Instagram if you really want to see pictures. But I need some. Do I post a lot? Not really. Some I do, some I don't. But yeah. Anyway. Oh, cotton lint. That's the only thing I hate. Like when I wash sweaters together, I have to pick all the lint off very meticulously. That's why I try to sort them by color, but I had a lot of laundry. I don't want to send you those kind of pics, okay? And I watched the windbreaker jacket thing, which I know I keep saying, oh, I don't like this windbreaker, but it works, okay? It was a Columbia windbreaker. It's still a good windbreaker. I'm just not, like, if I ever bought one again, I'd buy a black one because I do wash it, okay? I think that's gross that people don't wash their jackets. We can tell that you don't wash your jacket. Like, people wear the same jacket all winter and they never wash it. Ew. It's disgusting. We can smell it. We can smell you. Like people that brag about how they never wash anything. Hey, is that a flex? Maybe hygienic is a flex for some people. Like, not for me. But apparently, some people find unhygienic a flex. I'm like, are you what? What? Well, you'll be fine because most women you know in daily life that are on YouTube, like, we don't do that. Like, if I knew somebody in real life, they would have a real life interaction with me. No. Like, that's called me and my boundaries. Okay? That's what a boundary line is. Also, I'm like a person that like I'm not that kind of channel. You know? But a lot of people just are online to have fun in a good kind of way. You know? Not in that way. How you doing, Amarella? No, you didn't. I'm just saying I'm not offended. I'm just saying it's just not gonna happen. That's it. Maybe some people really are into that. I don't know. I don't know what other people do. I just know I don't really. It's not really my thing, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that are into that. Just not me. Not my thing. Yeah. Swear higher. You didn't get rejected live. Most people just don't do that. You didn't get rejected live because that's like, that doesn't even make any sense. Like, to me, this is my thing. Like, if somebody's interested in that, they have a channel where they talk about doing that, right? So you can't get rejected from something that was just never a possibility. You know, it's kind of like if you ask somebody that was into ballet to become a football player, and then somebody's like, oh, I got rejected because you didn't want to play a football game, and they're a ballerina. Like, you can't get rejected from something that somebody is not or doesn't do. Yeah. I like when I hang the laundry, I like to make sure it's gonna sit up on the hanger. So if I'm gonna button it, try to help it shape up here. More lid back. Off. This piece. No, you can talk about whatever you want. I'm just telling you what I do. That's just not me. Like, if I don't, like, I talk about many topics. Like, I was just talking about how Donald Trump loves AI slop, which is my new favorite, like, expression that I found on the TikTok today. That was funny. You can talk about whatever you want as long as it's allowed. Because actually was kidding. I don't know. Something was hidden. There's a reason. But it doesn't take away your freedom to talk about what you want, because this is the truth. There always was freedom of speech. Donald Trump didn't invent it. I know he thinks he does, but maybe the AI machine told him that. You know, we're just gonna have fun. Like, some people are getting really upset right now. Like, I'm not happy. But some people are just like, they're feeling a lot of fear. And I'm not saying what he's doing is great. But what I want to do is I'm gonna laugh at the truly insane part of it. Like, I guess he said that there's no way that he could have dementia because Joe Biden would never be able to, like, do a 2-hour presentation, like, just spewing ridiculous things. And I'm like, maybe it's because Joe Biden wanted to do that. Not that he was my favorite president, but I'm just like, gosh, you're posting anything that pops in your head doesn't exactly make you look like you have extremely strong mental cognition, Mr. Rumpkin. I don't know. But whatever. We live in a weird new era. And the dictate of the weird new era is, oh, these people will post whatever pops in their head.com, you know? Like the little rumpkins and whatnot. So, I don't get it. But anyway, I think I actually have room for a little bit more laundry. I can wash some more clothes. Anyway, that's round 1 of doing laundry, friends. I have more to do because I didn't do laundry for a few days and I need to catch up. Thanks for watching, everybody.